in Sidor Lev Shalem. Ashrei Yoshvei Beitecha Od Yalu Chasela Ashrei Hamshachal Ashrei Ha'am Shanel Ha'av B'chol Yom HaVarkav Kadol Nam Lam Dorle Shabbat Masachas Dag Vodedecha B'Yivni Bezro Dag Vayimei U'Dulatas Sabrin Avdei Charot Vayimei. No, I mean yes, but no, I don't want to post. I'd be happy. Tehilat Adonai Daber Pivorech Basar Shem Kod Shol Olam Va'ed Baruch V'Anachnu Nevarech Yam Yatzavet Olam. Hallelujah. We rise and continue on page 3 or page 291 with the silent Amida. You really don't, because we got Elenu and the end of the Amida. We'll continue with Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon ha'kol. V'ne'emar v'yaranei l'melech al kol ha'aretz v'yamahu yaranei echad u'shmo echad. We'll continue with Kabbalat Shabbat. And we'll begin with Yedid Nefesh, page 14 in Sidor Sim Shalom, page 10 in Sidor Lev Shalem.
Technical difficulties, please stand by. I looked up and I forgot. Yedid nefesh av harachaman mishochaftach el ritzonach yarutzavtach kemo ayal yishtachaveh el mul hadara yerav lo Yedidutach minofet tzuv vechol ta'am hador na'eh ziv ha'olam nafshi cholat ahavatach ana el narefana la Beharot la noam zivach az titchazek v'titrape v'haitalach shivchat olam v'tikyemu rachamecha v'chusna al ben ohavach ki zakama nichsof lirot betiferet uzach ana eli machmad libi chushana ve'al titalam higalena ufros chaviv alai etzukat shelomach ta'ir eretz mikvodach nagila v'nismecha bach Ma'erahu kiva moed v'choneni ki me'olam yadadai dai 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 yadadai dai 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 yadadai dai 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 yadadai dai dai yadadai dai 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 yadadai dai 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 yadadai dai 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 yadadai dai dai yadadai dai 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 yadadai dai 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 yadadai dai 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 yadadai dai dai yadadai dai 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 yadadai dai 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 yadadai dai 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 yadadai dai 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 yadadai dai 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 yadadai dai 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 yadadai dai 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 yadadai dai 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 yadadai dai 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 yadadai dai 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 yadadai dai dai yadadai dai 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 yadadai dai 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 yadadai dai 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 Bechun ranen aladonai Nari aletzur yishenu Nekad mafanav b'toda Bizmirot nari alo Nekad mafanav b'toda Bizmirot nari alo Kiel gadol Adonai umelech gadol al kol Elohim asher be'ado mechkerei haaretz v'tofot tarim lo asher be'ado mechkerei haaretz v'tofot tarim lo.
Let us go and sing to Adonai. Let us trumpet praise to our protector. Filled with thanks, let us greet God, raising our voice in song. Great is Adonai, a greater sovereign than all other deities. God's hands formed the earth's deep. Mountain crests, too, are God's work. The sea is God's, for God made it. Dry land was fashioned by God's hands. Come then, let us bow and kneel. Let us bend our knees in the presence of Adonai who formed us.
Arbaim shana kut bedor va'omaram to'e levavhem vehem lo yadu derachai asher nishbati v'api imivahun el menuchati. Shiru ladonai shir chadash, shiru ladonai kol haaretz, shiru ladonai baruch shemo, basru miyom leyom yeshuato, sapru vagoyim kevodo, bechol ha'amim niflotav. Ki gadol Adonai, hulal me'od, norahu, al kol Elohim yadai, ki kol Elohe ha'amim elilim, v'Adonai shamayim asa. Hod v'hadar lefanav os betiferet b'mikdasho. Havu l'Adonai mishpechot amim, havu l'Adonai kavod ba'oz. Havu l'Adonai kevod shemo. Se'u mincha uvo'u lechatrotav yadai hishtachavu l'Adonai behadrat kodesh chilu mipanav kol haaretz imru vagoyim Adonai malach aftikon tebel bal timot yadin amim b'meisharim yismechu hashamayim v'tagel haaretz. Yiram hayam umelo'o ya'alo sadai v'chol asher bo yadai az yiranenu kol atzei ya'ar lifnei Adonai kiva. Kiva lishpot haaretz yishpot tevel betzedek ve'amim be'emunato yadai dai 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 yadai dai dai yadai dai dai yadai dai dai yadai dai dai yai, dai, dai, dai.
Adonai reigns, let the earth be glad, the many distant lands rejoice. Clouds and thick darkness surround the divine, righteousness and justice secure God's throne. Fire goes before God, consuming besiegers round about. Flashes of lightning illumine the land, the earth watches and trembles. Mountains melt like wax at the approach of Adonai, at the approach of the master of all the earth. The heavens tell of God's righteousness, and all the nations see God's glory. You, Adonai, are above all that is earthly, exalted over all that is worshipped as divine. Light is sown for the righteous and joy for the upright. Rejoice in Adonai, you righteous people, and thank God as you pronounce the divine holy name.
Or zaru ala tzadik, ule yisrael simcha. Or zaru ala tzadik, ule yisrael simcha. Simchu tzadikim b'Adonai, v'hodu lezecher kodsho. Simchu tzadikim b'Adonai, v'hodu lezecher kodsho. Mizmor Shir L'Adonai Shir Chadash Ki Niflo Ta'asa Hoshi Lo Yaminu Uzra Kodsha. Zamru L'Adonai Bechinor V'Kol Zimra B'Chatzot Rot V'Kol Shofar Hariu Lifnei HaMelech Adonai Yiram Hayam Umlo Tevel V'Yoshvei Ba Neharot Yimcha Uchav Yachad Harim Yeranenu Lifnei Adonai Kiva Lishpot Haaretz Yishpot Tevel B'Tzedek Ve'amim B'Meisharim Yiram Hayam Umlo Tevel V'Yoshvei Ba Neharot Yimcha Uchav Yachad Harim Yeranenu.
Adonai reigns, nations tremble. The one enthroned amidst the Kruvim makes the world quake. Adonai is great in Zion above all nations. They shall acknowledge your name, saying, Great, inspiring Holy One. A sovereign strength lies in the love of justice, and you forge the paths of truth, judging Jacob righteously and justly. Exalt Adonai our God, bow down before God, the Holy One. Moses and Aaron among God's priests, and Samuel among those who called upon the divine name. They called to you and you answered them. You spoke to them from amidst the cloud. They kept your covenant and the law you gave them. Exalt Adonai our God and bow down at God's holy mountain, for Adonai our God is holy.
Just so you know, Myron is at my feet. He came over to daven. I guess he likes Romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu.
We rise as able and continue page 20 in Sidur Sim Shalom, page 21 in Lev Shalem.
Mizmor leDavid, Havu l'Adonai b'nei Elim, Havu l'Adonai kavod ba'oz, Havu l'Adonai kevod shemva, Ishtachavu l'Adonai behadrat kodesh, Kol Adonai al hamayim, El hakavod hirim, Adonai al mayim rabim, Kol Adonai b'koach, Kol Adonai b'hadar, Kol Adonai shover arazim, Vaishaber Adonai et arzei halvanon, Vayarkidem kemo egel, Levanon v'Siryon kemo ven re'emim. Kol Adonai chotzev lavatesh, Kol Adonai yachil midbar, yachil Adonai midbar kadesh, kol Adonai yecholel ayalot, vayechesov ye'arot, uvechalot kulo merkavot, kulo merkavot. Adonai lama b'yashav, vayeshav Adonai melech le'olam, Adonai os le'amo yitain, Adonai yevarech et amo b'shalom.
Chaverim, you may be seated as we continue with Lecha Dodi.
Lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Hishmi'anu el hameyuchad, Adonai echad, u'shemo echad. L'shem ultiferet veliti la 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 lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki mekor haberacha, Nirashmi kadam nesucha, sof ma'aseh b'machshavat chila la 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 lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Mikdash melech ir melucha, Kumitzeimi tocha hafecha, Rav lach shevet be'emecha bacha, Vehu yachmol alayichem la 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 lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Ki na'ari me'afar kumi, livshi bigdei fartechami, aliyat ben yishai veitalachmi, korva el nafshi ge'ala la 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 lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Hitoreri, kiva orech, kumi uri, shir daberi, kevod Adonai alayich, nigla la 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 lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Lo tevoshi velo tikami, ma tishtachachi umatemi, bach yechesu aniyami. Benivneta ir alti la 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 lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. V'hayulim shisa shosayich, v'rachaku kol nevalayich, yasis alayich Elohayich, ki imsos chatan al kala la 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 lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi likrat kala. Pene pene Shabbat nekabela. Yaminu smol tifrotzi. Be'et Adonai ta'aritzi. Al yad ish ben partzi. Venismecha venagila la 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 lecha dodi. Likrat kala. Pene pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi likrat kala. Pene pene Shabbat nekabela. Boi v'shalom ateret bala. Gam besimcha uvetzola. Toch emunei am segula. Boi chala la 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 lecha dodi likrat kala. Pene pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala. Pene pene Shabbat nekabela.
Kavirini may be seated. We continue on page 21.
Nope.
Page 23 in Sidur Sim Shalom, 27 in Lev Shalem.
Mizmor shir, leyom haShabbat. Mizmor shir, leyom haShabbat. Tov lehodod l'Adonai, ulzamer l'shimcha elyon. Lehagid ba'boker chastecha, ve'emunatecha baleilot, alei asor v'alei navel, alei higayon bechinor, alei asor v'alei navel, alei higayon bechinor.
A psalm, the song of the day of Shabbat. It is good to thank you, Adonai, and sing to your name most high, to proclaim your love at daybreak, your faithfulness each night. Finger the lute, pluck the harp, let the sound of the lyre rise up. You gladden me with your deeds, Adonai, and I shall sing of your handiwork. How wonderful are your works, Adonai, how subtle your designs. The righteous flourish like the date palm, thrive like a cedar in Lebanon. Planted in the house of Adonai, they flourish in our God's courtyards. In old age, they remain fruitful, still fresh and bountiful, proclaiming Adonai is upright, my rock, in whom there is no flaw.
Tzadika tamar yifrach, ke'erez balvanon yiskeh, shetulim beveit Adonai, bechatzrot Eloheinu Yafrichu. Od yenuvun beseva, teshenim verananim iyu lehakid ki yashar Adonai Tzuri V'lo avlat ha'bal. Adonai malach yod lavesh Adonai yosi tazar aftikon tevel baltimod. Mikolot mayim rabim adirim, mishbereyam adir bamarom Adonai, edotecha ne'em שמנו מאוד לביתך נא וקדש, אדוני לאורך ימים.
Chavirim will pause for a moment to reflect on a little piece of this week's Torah portion. Our parasha opens with the command to Moses that says, Emor el ha-kohanim b'nei Aharon, say to the Kohanim, the sons of Aaron. And it is simply the introduction to a series of laws governing the behavior of the Kohanim as they begin their tenure in that task. But intriguingly, our teacher, Rabbi Simcha Bunim of Psichia, understands B'nai Aharon not in its most literal sense as the sons of Aaron, those who were present to whom Moshe could speak, but rather he reads it as a statement regarding Moses needing to speak to the descendants of Aaron, those who will take up the task in future generations. And he takes his idea from the Midrash on the verse in Midrash Rabbah, where it says, Milamed sheher ahu akadosh baruch hu Moshe dor dor v'shoftav, that the phraseology, by taking it as implying not just the immediate sons of Aaron, but their descendants, is because the text means to teach us that God showed Moses subsequent generations and their leaders and their judges, as well as dor dor v'chomsav, dor dor v'gazlanav, that Moses was also shown how generations will be different, and he is even shown the, quote, criminals of different generations. And the Midrash and our teacher asked the question, Lama hera kadosh baruch hu Moshe gam et hachamsanim v'gazlanim? Why does God bother to show Moses those who will commit crimes in future generations? And Rabbi Simcha suggests the following answer, that generational change cuts in many different directions, that those who are considered illegitimate in one generation may in fact not be so considered in the future. Those who were sinners in one generation may in fact have qualities that become important in the future. He goes on to offer a couple of intriguing examples. So, for example, those who had certain aggressive qualities in one generation, who were more nationalistic and adamant about their Jewishness, might have been perceived negatively in one generation that was perhaps trying to fly under the radar. But at a certain point in the history of the Jewish people, those who were particularly lovers of Zion, those who were willing to stand up and express their nationalism, become the leaders of the generation that are ardent Zionists and the ones who will lay the groundwork for the return to the land, and the ones who will help form the beginnings and in fact help give rise to the modern state of Israel. Similarly, that there are those who articulate ideas which in the generation where they first did so were found to be a little too on the fringe or on the margin, but that the ideas that they introduce actually create a healthy dialogue within the people and push us to embrace change that we might not otherwise have engaged with. Now, I will say that the author of our comment focuses somewhat on Israel again in his comment, and probably would be somewhat horrified or mortified in the way that I'm about to use his words, but he has let loose the beast, and so be it. It seems to me that it is the same phenomenon that gave rise to the debate and the discussion that led to the embrace and inclusion of women as full equal partners in the ritual life of the Jewish community. And that when it was first talked about and even limitedly introduced, the pushback was extreme. But if we think back to the fact that we are coming closer and closer to the century anniversary of the bat mitzvah of Mordechai Kaplan's daughter, Judith, it's remarkable to think about the transformation in the role of women in Jewish learning that has taken place in that century, and not just in the Reform movement, where the ordination of women is a half a century old, or in the conservative movement, where the ordination of women is approaching its 40th anniversary. But even within the Orthodox world, where the number of women who are teachers of Torah, who are engaged in the study and proliferation of the teaching of sacred text, grows exponentially from year to year, it is an intriguing application of this same idea of what was anathema in a certain era transforms and becomes a galvanizing force later on. So it's important that, and therefore that when we speak, we realize that we are speaking not just to the present, but that we are speaking to the future, and that Torah is constantly evolving, changing, and growing as a force in the Jewish world. Okay, with that, let me invite Jody back, and we'll end our davening this evening with Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malchei, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Boachem LeShalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malchei, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Baruchuni LeShalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malchei, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Tzedchem LeShalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malchei, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Yishar Kochech, Shabbat Shalom Vorach. Good Shabbos, everyone.
Yishar Kochech.
Shabbos, everyone.
Good
Rabbi,
Shabbos.
I want to tell you something. Remember when we used to do the drinking first? That was at 5:30. And then and that was in
Yes.
and then we used to go to services. I'm talking about at synagogue at 6 o'clock.
Fun Shabbat.
Fun Shabbat.
If people are willing to come back to shul, then maybe I might be willing to make some drinks.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
This works pretty good.
Yeah, this works good, but what I'm saying is that 6 o'clock is good. You know.
All right.
For me.
Though, if you go back, I think our original Friday night funds were actually at 6:30.
So but wait. That was
Oh, Myron.
Shabbat Shalom, Myron. How old is he now?
He's 10.
Oh,
He's 10? Oh,
he's so
He's
cute.
10 and actually almost 10 and a half.
oh, wow.
He's cute. He's really cute. What is he, in a basset hound?
He is part basset, part beagle, part red tick coonhound.
Does he dig up a lot of stuff for you?
Does he dig up a lot of stuff? No, he's not a big digger. He's a pretty good howler, but he's
Yeah.
not a big digger.
No. Cute.
He was very quiet tonight. He was very good.
He was good, yes.
Yes, well, he was distracted.
Yeah.
As
Okay,
they
well,
say, there was a lot of dog rubbing going on off camera.
Uh,
all right, Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat